All right, I think we can get started, but welcome everyone to our College of Engineering information session presented by us, the Dean's team. So just to introduce ourselves, my name is Samhita and I recently graduated from Virginia Tech with a computer science degree in our College of Engineering program.
And I just graduated as well. I'm doing an accelerated master's at Virginia Tech, also in computer science as well.
All right, let's get started. Okay, so we always love to start these presentations with what it takes to be a successful College of Engineering student. And these are some of the things that we believe will help you really be successful at Virginia Tech or honestly any College of Engineering. So the number one thing we always love to highlight is the importance of creativity. Since engineering it isn't just about your technical skills, right? We teach you throughout our curriculum how to really build your creativity to help solve some of the world's most challenging problems using your engineering skills. Engineering is also very heavily teamwork oriented. You're going to find yourself, once you graduate, you will most likely be working a team, whether it's with people within your same major or degree, people within various majors in engineering or out of engineering. So our curriculum really focuses on teamwork based learning. We also do think study habits are also very important since, as you may already know, engineering tends to be a bit more heavy when it comes to studying, especially during your freshman year with that transition from high school as well. And interest in math and science will definitely help you in the long run. You definitely don't have to be like the best in math and science, but having that interest will help you, especially during your foundation classes, since a lot of your engineering courses and a lot of your in major courses are all going to be based on your early on math and science curriculum. And we also do recommend a challenging high school background. Again, that will help you really well with the transition from high school to your first year engineering. This doesn't mean like take every single AP course that your school offers, right? Just sometimes like, hey, if an AP course or an honors course it gets offered for this class and you really like it, maybe try taking that instead of the regular course as well. But yeah, we believe they're just some of the key things that we believe will help you make yourself a successful College of Engineering student.
Yeah, and we'd just like to give some stats about the entering class. So this is some of the stats for the entering class of fall 2024. The average GPA was a 4.18 over 5. The average SAT for math was a 706, and for reading it was 676. The percentage of those in that class that were female was 23%, which is a great number. And the underrepresented minority group was 13%, and underserved was 21%. We also like to emphasize the note that these are averages, right? So there are a lot of students that go above these numbers as well as below. So just kind of take it with a grain of salt, but kind of use it as some motivation while you're applying to Virginia Tech.
Okay, so now let's talk about general engineering since your engineering your first year might be a little bit different. So what that means is that when you apply to Virginia Tech on the Common App, you're actually applying to like a certain college, right? So since if you're interested in engineering, you would select College of Engineering. So what that means is that during your first year, you won't be like, for example, you won't be a computer science major yet. You'll be a general engineering major. So what that means is that during your first year, all students, regardless what majors they want to be in, are going to be in general engineering, and this just serves as a common entry point for some classes. And for example, which we talk about, everyone takes a Foundations of Engineering course, right? Everyone is required to take your basic Calc 1, Calc 2, stuff like that. So it just serves as a common entry point for all majors. And what that also means is that we also accept a lot of transfer credit, for example, like AP credit, IB, dual enrollment as well. We have a really nice like spreadsheets online. So if you search up like Virginia Tech, like transfer credit, like database, then you're able to see like all of your transfer credit based on like, for example, like certain scores that you get on your AP exams. Something else that all students at Virginia Tech, not just College of Engineering, have to take is our pathways. So that's basically our general education curriculum. So it includes a total of 45 credits over 7 different core concepts. And what that means is it doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, on top of your 120 degree degree, you have to take extra 45 credits. A lot of your courses that you're going to take for your degree are actually going to double count for your pathways as well, which is really great. And we also have all of that information up online. So, and then based off of all of that, during your first year, you typically take your common classes, right? Your foundations in your math, your sciences, maybe some pathways here and there. So based on the end of your freshman year, as long as you get a 3.0, based on the course that you take, you're automatically guaranteed your first choice major. So what that means is that around like March and April during your freshman year, during the spring semester, we send you a survey like, hey, what are the top 3 majors that you're interested in? And you get to rank them based on your preference. And as long as you have a 3.0, then you're guaranteed your first choice major. And if you don't have a 3.0, then it's honestly a case by case basis, right? For example, let's say the mechanical engineering department says that they don't have the capacity to accept students below a 3.0, then that means you would be bumped down to your second choice. But even then, all of that is really flexible. So it's not like the end of the world if you don't take your first, you don't get your first choice major. And a lot of great things about the majors that you're actually able to take like the first like 2 or 3 courses of your major before you're even like declared. So that can really help you get a head start during your freshman year. But as a summary, you apply for the College of Engineering, you get accepted, you become a general engineering student during your freshman year, and based on your performance, then you'll be able to get your major at the end of that year.
And going off of what was just talked about, so as your during your first year, whether that be your first semester or your first year, you'll be taking a foundations engineering course. And traditionally, this is split upon 2 semesters. So your first semester will involve a lot of problem solving, learning about different data analysis, and using different tools and CAD softwares to learn how to make 3D models, and also doing a little bit of coding and just kind of getting a big scope of what different professional skills are like, working on teams that have in your class. And then your second semester will be more project oriented. So typically you'll have a group for the entire semester, continuing to work on these skills and applying it to a project that you'll be developing from bottom to top with the teammates that you're working on. And this course also exposes you to all the majors at Virginia Tech. So as part of this course, you are required to attend certain seminars for the different majors offered here. And with that, if you know what you want to come in with, that's great. But if you are somebody who is looking for what engineering to pursue, this is a great opportunity to go to all of these info sessions, kind of get a breakdown of what's offered in the major and kind of what the takeaways are from that, as well as just talking to the different professors as well about those courses. But holistically, this course lets you give a intro about different tools that you'll use, different professional practices that you'll engage in during your time here at Virginia Tech, and different fields and majors as well.
So next up, we have a really nice pie chart which shows our 2024 College of Engineering enrollment. So as you may see, the biggest part of this is our general engineering, right? And that's because those are typically all our freshman year students who have just got admitted into our College of Engineering and haven't really declared their major yet. As you can see, our biggest program, it will probably be computer science, followed by mechanical engineering. And we just also want to emphasize that all these numbers are over 3 years, which means that they're your sophomores plus your juniors and plus your seniors. So your like class size or like your graduating class size for your major is going to be these numbers divided by 3. And even if you divide these numbers by 3, they're not going to be like the amount of people in your classes, right? Because for all classes at Virginia Tech, we offer like so many different professors, so many different class sections. So as you find yourself out, usually your freshman year, during those heavy lecture courses like chemistry or physics, that's when you may see up to like 200 people in your classes. But as you definitely, once you declare your major, and depending on the major, typically your class size are going to be similar to high school. I would say around like 30 people for more popular majors and like computer science, then they can go up to 50. But me personally, and I haven't really seen anyone have a problem where like, oh, there were so many people in class that they couldn't just like hear in class, right? Since in those lecture halls we have like so many speakers, we have like the slides displayed like everywhere, not only in front of you to the side as well. But yeah, so nice pie chart, and then your graduating class size is just going to be these numbers divided by 3. Okay, now let's transition to some of the opportunities our College of Engineering program offers.
Yeah, so a lot of students you'll find will be minoring in a lot of things. I, for myself, I had two minors during my undergraduate degree. I minored in human computer interaction and math, and these are some of the great minors that Virginia Tech has within the College of Engineering. There's biomedical, computer science. There's also green engineering and naval engineering, nuclear engineering, and these are all great options for practically any major within the College of Engineering, and a lot of them fit really nicely into certain majors. So you'll see a lot of like civil engineers be doing green engineering as a minor, or ocean and air engineering be doing naval or nuclear engineering as minors. And myself, I did human computer interaction, and a lot of like electrical will do computer science. So there's a lot of easy ways to fit in these minors into your coursework. And it's also a great opportunity if you're not trying to graduate early to just get those extra classes in as well. And something that's also really great about Virginia Tech is that you do not have to minor in a you don't have to pick a minor that is specifically from the College of Engineering. You can minor in majors that, or you can choose minors that are outside as well. So there's a lot of my peers and people on the dean's team who are minoring in languages or in different musics and stuff like that. So there's also those options as well and choices if that's something that you hope to pursue as well.
Another big thing that's really part of our College of Engineering is undergraduate research is a huge part. So for example, a lot of people they tend to do research for example, let's say under a professor during the academic year, or they decide to stay in Blacksburg and sort of do research as like an internship. So research is almost like everywhere at Virginia Tech. During my freshman year, I got involved in research literally the first semester that I got here through Virginia Tech's like Hume Center for National Security and Technology. So there I was able to work on like a project where I had a real stakeholder with the U.S. Navy as well. So I would say research is really great. You're often going to find that a lot of the professors that you're going to be taking your courses with are actually going to be doing research on the side. So what that means is that if you just search up like, let's say you're interested in this professor and you search them up, they often have links to their personal websites on like the Virginia Tech page with their bio, and based off of that, you can see like their history of their research, some of the papers that they published, and yeah, and from there it's honestly really simple. Some of their professors during class will like announce like, hey, oh, I'm looking for this many students to help me with my research this semester. You can always like reach out to them by like cold emailing as well. And yeah, it's just a great opportunity. Research is typically done in 3 ways. You can either do it like by volunteer, you can do it as like a paid wage position, or you can actually take it as like a 3 credit elective, since all your degrees, you're going to be required to take some electives based on your major. But yeah, research is everywhere, and I would definitely recommend to definitely get involved. It's not only restricted to like juniors or seniors, so that's something you can definitely get involved with as soon as you step in the door here.
Yeah. And going off that, there's several programs that are offered here in multiple ways and different scopes to allow for different explorations of work outside of the classroom. So this is one of the programs that we offer here called the Rising Sophomore Abroad program. Highly recommend scanning that link if this is something that you could be interested in. But essentially, it is a 2-week stay somewhere in the world. And you get to go chaperoned with a one or two full-time staff members, and you get to basically go there and explore engineering in a whole different part of the world. You get to go with another group of students, and before you go, you'll be taking a course in that spring semester that will not only fulfill a pathway, but it'll get you ready to explore engineering in the international context. Listed on the screen are just some locations that people have gone to. The Spain and Morocco have been really popular, as well as Italy and Germany. So those are just some great experiences there. And I personally have not gone, but I know that a lot of people on the Dean's team who have gone have had great experiences. And yeah, so if you want to learn more about that, feel free to scan the QR code, or if you want to talk to a Dean's team member who has gone, let us know afterwards, and we're more than happy to connect you with somebody.
Next up, we have our professional societies and engineering organizations. So here, as you can tell, we have just a few out of many. For example, Society of Women in Engineering, National Society of Black Engineers, stuff like that. So typically, the way it works is that these societies and engineering organizations typically operate in a club base, which means that they often have like your weekly or monthly general body meetings, stuff like that, where you can go attend, learn about the club, meet people who are like in your same major or going to be studying something similar to you as well. You get to do a bunch of things. The great thing about all of these organizations is that they're amazing networking opportunities. For example, that you actually have a lot of like companies that actually come to Virginia Tech Blacksburg in person. They often bring recruiters or like real engineers, and they often do like their own sessions, right, where you get to learn more about the company, the hiring process, what that's like, what the interview process is, what that like, and you actually get to talk to these recruiters or engineers one-on-one. So it's a great way for you to make yourself stand out. You also can do a bunch of cool things. For example, a lot of professional engineering organizations, they also do a lot of volunteering events. You get to do cool things such as like hiking as well. But overall, it's a really great networking opportunity, a great way to like meet people who are of similar interests as well. And a lot of these professional societies, engineering organizations, you also get to be like the member of like the national organization of the country as well. So what that means is like, for example, like if you're like a member of Society of Women Engineering, you get to have access to the broad, like the nationwide SWE conference, right? And a lot of these organizations work similar as well. But overall, it's a really great networking opportunity that is open to everyone.
Yeah, and just to go off that a little bit as well, all those organizations and pretty much all the organizations on campus are all inclusive of everybody. So just because I'm not like a chemical engineering major, civil engineering major, I can still join those organizations. And that pertains to every organization on campus for the most part. And just additionally as well, Virginia Tech has over like 800, 900 organizations on campus. And if there's one that you can't find that you like, you can definitely go ahead and make one as well. But if you want to find more organizations before you get to come to campus, Samantha will drop a link in the chat for Gobbler Connect, and it's a way for you to kind of find organizations as well before you come here as well. But there's also like a big like club fest in the beginning of the year, which is really fun. But sorry, just want to add that. Yeah, so going on to jobs. So internships and co-op experiences are something that Virginia Tech really is very prominent about. And through different career fairs at Virginia Tech, students have been able to get internships and co-ops. Just to give a brief overview, internships are when you do a short period of work during the larger breaks of this academic year, so such as summer break or winter break. And typically you'll be doing a internship for the entire span of that break, and it'll be short term, potentially like 9 to 12 weeks, and you'll just get to work and have that experience with those companies. And a co-op is during a normal semester, so a fall or spring semester, and it pretty much you will be taking or you will be working with that company full time for the 6 months or 5 months that you would be normally doing a semester here at Virginia Tech. But these are just some companies that some of the Dean's team members have had the opportunity to work at. And you can see that a lot of the companies are in Virginia and North Carolina. That's where a lot of companies that come to Virginia Tech hire. But we like to say that if this map were to be filled with everybody at Virginia Tech, that the entire map would be that dark orange color, because Virginia Tech cookies really strive to find jobs as early as their freshman and sophomore year. And it's just displayed in the work that they do and the connections that they make. So that's a little bit of overview of like some internships and co-op experiences.
Next up, we have career fairs. So career fairs are a really big part of Virginia Tech. Our biggest career fair, which is called Engineering Expo, is the second largest student-run career fair in our country. It happens every September, and over 300 companies come for the sole purpose of hiring Virginia Tech engineering students for either like internships, co-ops, or full-time opportunities. And we always love to talk about the picture in the middle and with our motto, how Hokies hire Hokies. As you can see, the person on the right, the one wearing the maroon colors, that's actually the recruiter, whereas the student who's all dressed up really nicely in a suit, that's actually a student. So we always have to say Hokies hire Hokies, which means a lot of these companies, when they come, they actually have real students who attended Virginia Tech College of Engineering, and now they come back just to meet more people and to hire more people like themselves at this one point. And the great thing about career fairs is I believe it's a really great opportunity for you to stand out. For example, I went to Engineering Expo and also the Computer Science Career Fair last fall, and I got, I believe, 5 interviews just from showing up in person as well. So the great thing about this is that you actually get to see the recruiter or see the engineers face to face, talk to them one on one, and it really helps accelerate the hiring process since if they really like your resume, if they believe that you're a good fit, you're immediately invited to at least a first round interview that during that same week in person at Virginia Tech. And then based on that, that's when you get to attend the other interviews either in person later or online. But yeah, career fairs are just another massive networking opportunity where you literally show up, you get to talk to companies, show them your resume, give like a good 30 to 60-second elevator speech. And from there, it's just great way to make yourself stand out, especially in this competitive job market. We not only have Engineering Expo, we also have Cameo, which happens in the spring, which also has over 100+ companies as well. A lot of your majors are also going to have like their own career fairs. For example, like computer science always has one in the fall and the spring. Construction has one, biomedical has one, and so on. So there's so many just different opportunities for you to really show up and make yourself stand out. But yeah, these are a great thing about Engineering Expo is that it's also open to freshmen as well. So although it may be harder for freshmen to get like the junior level internships or co-ops, it's still a great way for you to just show up in person, make yourself stand out. So when you come on the next year, these like recruiters or engineers, they'll remember your face, which will be great. But yeah.
Yeah, and going on to some living learning programs. So the Galileo Hypatia Living Learning Program is the biggest and largest LLC at Virginia Tech for college engineering as well as LLCs in general. Currently housed in Pritchard Hall, it holds up to typically, Hypatia Galileo will be 600 to 700 students. It's basically just a community to be able to connect with other first-year engineering students. You'll all be taking very similar classes, such as the Foundations of Engineering course, potentially some Chem and Physics, or some Calc 1 and 2s. And you'll be able to just meet people in your hallway who are taking very similar classes, make study groups, and just be able to do all of that right in the comfort of your dorm. Additionally, it also has a studio space, which you can see in the bottom right, and that offers a lot of different tools and other materials for students to be able to build whatever they want. There's a woodworking area where you have like your bandsaw and your other woodworking supply tools. We also have 2 laser cutters and 3D printers and soldering machines and like a Cricut and like a bunch more things. And if there's something you would like to order that is within reason, that's something super easy to be able to just ask. I myself have been part of the program all 4 years in my undergrad. I made some of my closest friends through this program, living in the dorm as well as just being on the leadership team and getting to make connections that way. And lastly, the LLC also offers a course, and the course prepares you by helping you build your resume, your LinkedIn, your elevator pitch, gets you ready for those career fairs, helps you select the major that you hope to pursue, as well as having some community engagement activities, such as some like academic support events for chemistry test reviews, things like that. Some social events, professional development events, which help build your communication with maybe potentially other professors on campus or even some recruiters that we bring in. So Galileo Hypatia has been really great. I highly recommend it. It has a lot of support in all aspects of your first year and just your time here at Tech. And yeah, and it's a great way to meet new people and build those connections with people you'll be spending the next 4 years with.
We also have another LLC called Digerati, and this is in general for those interested in information technology in general. So what that means is that unlike Gallo and Hypatia, which is technically typically restricted for those under the College of Engineering, Digerati also often has a lot of students who are interested in business right under our Pamplin College as well, since they also offer their own curriculum for IT. But basically, it's just another LLC. I would say it's very similar to Galileo and Hypatia in the sense that you have a lot of networking opportunities, social events, get to live with people around your same interests with IT, stuff like that as well. And another great just to emphasize that with these LLCs is that there's something that you do have to apply for. So what that means is that typically after you get accepted, right at the end of your senior year, you're going to be sent out a housing application, and on that application they're going to ask like, hey, are you interested in a living learning community? And based off of that, that's when you actually get to like check the communities that you're interested in. For example, if you're interested in Galway and Hypatia, you would check that. And then all of these LSCs, they often have like their own form of the application. For example, you have to fill a bit of information about yourself, fill out some short answer prompts, stuff like that. So if you are definitely interested in Galilei, Hypatia, Digerati, or just any LLC, that's something they should definitely keep in mind since you do actually have to formally apply to those.
Yeah. And so peer mentoring is another opportunity that you can engage in if you are not wanting to be part of one of these LLCs. Peer mentoring is a way for students to be able to be connected with upperclassmen. So essentially, you'll be connected with an upperclassman, and they'll just be a good resource for you during your time here at Virginia Tech. During this 10-week kind of commitment in the fall, you'll be meeting every week with your mentor as well as other people in your mentor group, getting to meet more people, as well as just having somebody that could be a resource for what's the best dining hall on campus or academic support and all those type of other things. Peer mentoring also gives you opportunities to explore things off campus as well, such as going to grab a bite to eat with your mentor or going on different things in Blacksburg, such as going on a hike, which you can see the Cascades in the bottom right. But these are just great opportunities to get connected with an upperclassman and have that resource. And if they don't know, they can definitely find somebody that can help you get connected and feel comfortable with whatever you're looking for. But yeah, typically all the groups are around 10 students per mentor, plus or minus. And you do not need to be part of those LLCs to participate in this. If you do those LLCs, you will be signed up to do this, or you will be put into this like automatically. But if you want to do it and you're in a different LLC, you just have to sign up separately. But being involved in the 10-week commitment of meeting with your mentor for the first 10 weeks of the fall will still be the same.
So next up, we have our STEP program, which is something that's really unique to Virginia Tech, and we always like to talk about this program as sort of like a bridge from high school to college as an engineering student. So the STEP program is a 4-week program where students actually come in 4 weeks during the summer, and they're able to take the first 4 weeks of calculus, chemistry, and the foundations of engineering course. So what this means is that you're actually going to come here to Virginia Tech. You're going to be like an actual student. You're going to be living in the dorms, eating the campus food, walking to class, or taking the bus and actually attending lectures, doing assignments, stuff like that. You're also able to actually take the first exam of all these courses. And what that means is that if you do great, that's really great, right? That means you know that you're prepared for these courses in the fall. If you don't do as well as you thought you would have, then no worries as well. You're able to then just simply start the course again. So what that means is that you sort of like take these courses just for to realize like what pace you're at as an engineering student. So nobody's gonna know if you take these courses, right? They're not gonna be on your transcript. It's not anything like official. So you're able to take these courses, and then when your fall semester actually starts, then you're able to like revisit the first 4 weeks of the curriculum again. So really, it's just a great way to really let you know where you are and where you need to be for the academic year. It helps you get your study habits, your time management early on during the summer. you're also able to meet a lot of people early on. You also get to meet professors. There's a lot of opportunities for like academic seminars or meeting our professors one-on-one as well. So it's just a great opportunity for you to get here in the summer a bit early and sort of start the life as a College of Engineering student early on.
Yeah, and another one of those things, going off a little bit of research, is we love working on things outside the class. So we have a model called Hands-On, Minds-On, and it's basically where students can apply what they learn in the class to real hand-on projects. So these are some of the design teams that we have here at Virginia Tech. Um, you have your human-powered sub, which you can see in the bottom right corner, and there's also Baja and Bolt, which work on vehicles and motorcycles. There's also Concrete Canoe, where they build a canoe just out of concrete from scratch, which is super cool, and Steel Bridge as well. And a lot of these just involve a bunch of different majors. So you do not have to be necessarily the right major to join like the correct design team. They accept all majors, all backgrounds, all years, which is super great. And they love seeing first and second years get involved as well, because then they hope for you to stick around and be involved and invested. And this is another great way to get involved at Virginia Tech. A lot of these design teams are also super successful. Some of them are nationally ranked. Concrete Canoe and Steel Bridge have really been doing really well these past few years, as well as Baja and Bolt are really popular. So yeah, design teams are a really great way to, take that side hobby that you might have that may not be directly related to your major and, pursue it further by joining a design team, as well as just, taking what you learn in the classroom and applying it as well and meeting new people. There's also non-engineering majors on these teams as well, not exclusive to anybody, so everybody can join these teams. And yeah, super awesome.
Next up, we have a few statistics that we always love to highlight. So according to the U.S. News and World Report, we have the number second building construction program in the country. We're the 13th undergraduate program for engineering and the 31st graduate program for engineering. And according to the American Society of Engineering Education, we're the number 9 school for the producer of engineering.
Additionally, just some more facts is freshmen who continue to their second year in engineering is typically 88%. And the number for Galileo Hypatia, if you decide to join that living learning program, is around like 99%, which is super awesome to see. After graduation, based on those who responded to the survey, 66% were employed and 19% plan to attend graduate school. And I would say this checks out pretty well. A lot of my peers are either employed right out of college or are attending grad school like myself. And the median starting salary is 77,000, and that pertains to all engineering majors. So of course, some majors may be higher, some may be medium or a little bit lower, but that's a great starting salary to look at. So yeah.
So next up we have scholarships. So after you fill in your Common App, after submitting that admissions application, you're actually going to be sent something else called the General University Scholarship application. So that's typically due on mid-January, a bit after that Common App deadline is due. So that's something we recommend you to keep your eye out for, or we recommend all students to fill out. And that's just a way for Virginia Tech to handle university scholarships for freshmen. And the great thing about this is that it's just one big general application. So you're able to do things such as like input like some of the extracurriculars you're involved with in high school. So your academic interests, stuff like that. So it's just a way for you to fill out stuff about you, and based on that, you'll find out later that you'll get matched with different scholarships. We also do recommend everyone to fill out your financial aid, which is commonly known as your FAFSA as well. And this can help you see where you are in terms of like your financial need. And based on that, we also look at that as well to handle need-based scholarships. For those who are coming for Virginia community colleges, we also do offer a specific scholarship for transfer students from all VCCS colleges as well. And the great thing about how scholarships work at Virginia Tech is that just because you don't get a scholarship your freshman year, it doesn't mean that you'll ever get a scholarship, right? So for your upperclassmen, you actually have, I would say, a higher chance of getting a scholarship because if you're a freshman, right, your scholarship pool is just going to be everyone that has access to that same pool, right? So one big general pool. Whereas if you're upperclassmen, if you're a College of Engineering student, you'll have access to specific College of Engineering funds and also funds for your specific major. And the great thing about that is that it's also one big application. So we also send that out every year in January, which we recommend all students to fill out as well. So it's just there's going to be a lot of opportunities for you to get scholarships, even if you didn't get it initially your freshman year.
Yeah, and then to go into computer requirements, so it's recommended to have a laptop or a two-in-one tablet. The computer requirements change yearly, so it is highly recommended to kind of watch all the updates that that QR code provided. Um, Windows 11 is required. Some of the work that you do for your Foundations in Engineering course depends on software that can only be run on the Windows computers. Macs are not recommended and, don't guarantee that you can run engineering software bundles. However, I have a Mac. So I would say take that with a grain of salt as well. It was a little bit different when I was a first year, but if you're really into using Apple products as I am, you could potentially, either there's ways that you can learn it from the library if you really wanted to, or maybe if you have something right now, maybe to just tough that out for a year, kind of however you want to go about it. Certain majors definitely require a lot of window heavy software. So maybe getting a Windows is just more recommended, such as like mechanical engineering, you're always running like CAD softwares and stuff like that. But some majors don't necessarily require you to have a Windows specific. For example, computer science, you're really doing everything in like one um, development environment. So it's kind of like you can have any computer you want. So kind of if you know what major you want, maybe you can kind of lean into that. But yeah, you do need to have Windows 11 for the things that they're going to make you run and do in the Foundations of Engineering course. I highly recommend just looking at that QR code, trying to maybe wait as long as you can to make sure that you meet the requirements as well. But yeah.
Okay, now we're going to transition into the majors that we offer in our College of Engineering program. So first up, we have electrical engineering. So our electrical engineering curriculum, it focuses on helping students develop the tools and techniques to sense, measure, convert, transmit, and control and receive energy and intelligence. And based off of that, electrical engineers, once they graduate, they're able to work as on various size projects from things such as small as like mosquito-sized robots to controlling like massive million-mile power grids across the country. In general, electrical engineers, they can work in like a variety of areas such as like communication networking, micro nanosystems, controls or robotics, system management, sales, consulting, industry, stuff like that as well. So as an electrical engineer, you have a wide opportunities for different areas you want to focus in and different careers you want to go to. So the picture on the top left is a picture of our Bolt design team, which is in charge of developing a electric powered motorcycle every year as well. A picture on the top right is a picture of students in one of the Hume Center, which I talked about a bit, but one of the labs at the Hume Center for National Security and Technology and stuff like that. And a picture on the bottom left is a picture of Virginia Tech's wind turbine teams. Which ended up winning second place during one of their yearly competitions. But yeah, I would say in terms of this, electrical engineering tends to be broadly very hardware focused, which we'll talk about a bit later.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
next up, yeah.
So computer engineering, super similar. It's about embedded computers and other machines and systems, building some network transfer data, and developing ways to just make computers faster and more capable and smaller scopes. But the first 2 years of electrical engineering and computer engineering are actually exactly the same. Foundationally, they both need to know the same material, so you'll be taking courses with electrical engineering students for the first 2 years, and then after those first 2 years, typically like your junior or second half of your junior year, you'll kind of dive into these concentrations, which are all the bullet points that are listed on all the sides, are just the concentrations that the different majors offer, such as chip scale, control robotics and autonomy, machine learning, software systems, and all those other great ones. There's a lot that you can do with computer engineering, incorporating it into mobile devices as well as just incorporating it into physical and building materials. And it's a great way that merges kind of the embedded part of it as well as the software. So if you like getting your hands on those circuits and like actually building things as well as coding, this would be a great medium for you. Getting a little bit of hands-on experience with both the electronic part, which is similar to electrical engineering, as well as coding. And it is just used in all different types of scopes of industry work, computer manufacturing, chemical companies, defense companies, consulting, transportation, pretty much everything. So it's really great, allows for a lot of diversity. And yeah, so you can see some of these pictures here. Some of these are some professors working on things in their labs. On the top right, you'll see a Hyperloop, which is kind of focusing more for future development in transportation. In the bottom left, you can see a capstone team working on their project. So yeah, it's a lot of great experiences for hands-on as well as online learning.
So next up we have our computer science. I would say computer science is more entirely focused on their software side, the coding development and programming side compared to electrical engineering and computer engineering. So in our curriculum, computer scientists in general, they study like the design, the implementation, the performance of different computer systems. We really emphasize on software and the aspect of computation that makes computing how powerful and how transforming it is today. So throughout our computer science curriculum, students they basically acquire a strong foundation in like algorithms, problem solving, and software development. Typically, our main degree courses, you're going to be taking a lot of courses in data structures and algorithms, which are typically in Java. Then you get to bit more about low-level programming, computer organization, and computer systems, which are taken in C. But overall, entirely programming based. A lot of your core courses, they often tend to have like 4 to 5 really main projects, which you're able to work either by yourself or with a partner. And after your core degree courses, we also offer a very diverse set of electives. As you can see here on the bullet points, we offer electives in like human computer interaction, scientific computing, software engineering, stuff like that. So a way for students to really figure out like what they're really interested in, and then they're able to take electives in that as well. So a picture that we love to talk about on the bottom left is actually a picture of students at VT Hacks, which is our biggest hackathon that happens every fall. So this is a great way for you to either come in with your friends where you're able to like stay up all night and like code a project from scratch. And based on that, there's numerous categories where you're able to win prizes. And not only is just a way for you to sort of like code with your friends or in a team. A lot of companies actually do come to our hackathon. So we also offer a lot of different like workshops, like resume reviews, behavioral interviews, how to be successful in technical interviews, stuff like that as well. So it's another great networking opportunities and it's open to everyone, not just computer science major as well. A picture on the bottom right is a picture of one of the club meetings for AWC, which is our Association for Women in Computing organization. And a picture on the top left is one of our is a really big computer vision cube that's in our Moss Art Center. But yeah, overall, computer science really focuses on the emphasis of software development.
Yeah. So our next major, which is one of our also bigger majors here at Virginia Tech, is mechanical engineering, and it's the broadest, one of the broadest engineering disciplines here. Includes everything from acoustics to computer-aided design, analysis, controls, energy conservation, mechanical design, and propulsion, and many more. On the screen, you can see some focuses that students can pursue, such as automotive, design and manufacturing, and energy, materials, nuclear and robotics, and autonomy. As similar to the other majors, there will be a lot of overlap in terms of foundational courses, but then once you get into your later years, you'll be able to take classes that focus on these concentrations, which are super great. And yeah, so fundamentally, students will be taking similar math and statistics classes, thermofluid dynamics, engineering, vibrations, all these other fun classes that students will be taking to provide yourself with a background that would be able to make yourself marketable in any industry that you decide to apply to. So if students are not necessarily sure which focus they want to pursue. Sometimes they'll just do mechanical engineering to give themselves the most broad opportunities to when they apply to jobs, which is super great. But you can see that on the bottom two corners, you'll see some of our design teams. So there's Baja SAE on the bottom left, which is our car, and our Formula SAE design team, which is on the bottom right. And then on the top left is a fun little quick story. So every time that Virginia Tech scores a touchdown at our football games, we have the core cadets do push-ups. But naturally, the engineers were a little grouchy about that. So we decided that we would have a robot do push-ups on our behalf. So the Department of Mechanical Engineering built this robot such that whenever Virginia Tech scores a touchdown, our robot will also do push-ups. So just a little fun little note. But yeah.
So next up we have our aerospace engineering major. So the aerospace engineering curriculum focuses on different areas such as aerodynamics, flight dynamics controls, propulsions, space engineering, and vehicle design as well. This tends to be one of our smaller programs, so it tends to be really personalized as well. Which we'll talk about more about our next slide, but aerospace engineering heavily ties into ocean engineering. So your first 2 years of these programs are going to be really similar. And then during your junior and senior, that's where you get to really specialize in either your aerospace engineering or your ocean engineering as well. So a picture that we love to talk about is on the top left, which is actually a picture of an actual Rolls-Royce Trent 1000 jet engine, which is actually in our Goodwin Hall. If you've ever been to our campus, so if you walk in, typically your foundation of engineering course is actually going to be in Goodwin. So if you walk in and literally just look straight up, you're going to be seeing this great jet engine up there. A lot of our aerospace engineers, they actually get to build planes and test them out at our Virginia Tech Drone Park, which is shown in the top right picture. So if you're interested in that, that's something that we definitely offer. Picture on the bottom right is a picture of Virginia Tech's another design team, the Design Build Fly team, which placed second at their competition this year. But yeah.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, ocean engineering and aerospace engineering are essentially the same major for 2.5, almost 3 years. The only difference is that one major focuses on the body of fluid being air, and the other one focuses on the body of fluid being water. So a lot of similarities with the first 2.5, 3 years of courses. But yeah, the field focuses on a lot of naval architecture as well. So it still includes a lot of that fluid mechanics, propulsion structure, marine engineering. And yeah, the curriculum pretty much encompasses all of that. And so here are some examples of concentrations, such as hydrodynamics, naval engineering, propulsion structures, and vehicle dynamics. This major is also on the smaller side, so it's really great. You get to really meet and get to know the people in your major, the people that you're going to be graduating next to as well. But yeah, there's a lot of also great opportunities for hands-on experiences as well. So you'll see in the top left is one of our groups that are working on like a project with their class, which is super cool. On the bottom right is our human powered sub team. And then yeah, and there's some examples of our sailboat, as well as some research that goes on within some of the labs at Virginia Tech. But yeah, so ocean and aero kind of go hand in hand. A lot of students will be taking a lot of similar classes. But if you're really interested in the naval architecture and water mechanics and all of those type of things, ocean engineering is definitely where you want to be.
Next up, we have Industrial Systems Engineer, also known as ISE. So they are focused on the design, development, improvement, and implementation of work systems. Basically, essentially, they focus on improving engineering processes in the workplace. So they get to focus on things such as manufacturing, systems engineering, human factors engineering, management, stuff like that. So they not only focus on like the physical and technical sides of engineering process, but they also look into the organizational, economic, business, and human elements of different engineering systems. Our ISE department also really heavily, I would say they stress a lot on co-ops, since a lot of our students, they tend to do co-ops, for example, in companies such as like Honda and Toyota, which heavily recruit a lot of ISE engineers. So Yeah, and then some of the pictures we love to talk about is a picture on the bottom left, which is a picture of the Harris Manufacturing Process Laboratories, which consists of a bunch of different like individual labs, equipments, and facilities for the support of research in manufacturing processes as well. A picture on the bottom right is just a picture of operations of research. And yeah.
Yeah, so our next major is chemical engineering. So some of the concentrations are biotechnologies, energy, environmental manufacturing, marketing, polymers, and research. And yeah, this is for students who want to learn skillfully and creatively using the principles of chemistry and biochemistry, biology, mathematics, and physics on all the different sciences involved in, energy, food, health, consumer products, and things like that. A lot of the classes will involve basically taking all the science classes that Virginia Tech offers, as well as labs that go with that. Um, and yeah, and you also get a cool period. And during this time, you also get a chance to go abroad as part of this program, and you get to study chemical engineering at that scope in a different part of the world, which is super cool. But yeah, if you're really into sciences, but also want to be, really creative and use those knowledge of sciences to help problem solve in different aspects, this would be definitely the major for you. In the top left, you can see our ChemE car design team, where they make this car move using certain chemical compounds and reactions and things like that. Super cool, something I can never comprehend, but they've done really well at competitions and everything like that. So that's something super cool to see. And yeah, you'll just see some images of some different research and students working on different chemical engineering related work. In this major, you also see a lot of students doing research because it's so science oriented and a lot of trials and things like that. A lot of students in this particular major gravitate to a professor or a potential research topic and find a way to also do research alongside this major. But yeah.
Next up, we have material science and engineering, which they focus on the structure, properties, design, development, manufacture of different, and the engineering application of different materials of all types. So students, they may specialize in a number of materials or may focus on one, such as ceramics, metals, polymers, or electronic and photonic materials as well. They're able to do things such as like go into biomaterials or green engineering or petroleum and energy, stuff like that. So they're also in general, you get to focus on either a variety of materials and you're able to work in a variety of different industries as well. A picture that we love to talk about is a picture on the top left. So during one of our football games, one of our football players were actually injured. So one of the cast that we prepared on beforehand, it was deemed like it wasn't qualified by the refs, right? So during that same day, the material science and engineering department, they literally went in and created like entire cast, and during that same day we were able to resume the game, which is great. But yeah, another great material science and engineering, there's also very heavily focused on hands-on learning. The picture on the bottom right is a picture of one of our dreams lab at Goodwin Hall. A picture on the bottom left is a picture of a project that happened during COVID for preparation of like PPP material and stuff like that.
Yeah, and just keep going. I know that it's 7:55 right now. We'll keep going. We're gonna try and finish up at least all our material by 8 o'clock. That way we can kind of answer questions afterwards. I know there are some questions asked in the chat. We'll go around to answering all those as well. But while we're doing this, we'll also put our contact information in the chat for you guys to email us if you have any questions. But we're still gonna keep going. Hopefully, finish up everything by 8 o'clock, and then if you want to stay a little bit more, we'll answer some questions as well. But yeah, just getting right back into it. Civil engineering it's a principle of designing and constructing, operating, and caretaking of different construction facilities and systems. This is also one of those really broad topics. A lot of students will go with this route as well if they're not sure exactly what they want to do. Some of the concentrations are construction, environmental, geotechnologies, material structures, transportation, water resources, and all of that. And the emphasis is on civil engineering and facilities and systems and how they form to society's infrastructures and things like that. And yeah, hopefully to prepare you for any kind of field that you hope to do, whether that be a little bit more problem solving and working with teams, or if you want to get your hands on and be constructing things like that. You'll see on the top left is a picture of our steel bridge design team, which is super cool. They've done super well in the past few years, ranking nationally at their competitions. But they have a bunch of rules that they have to abide by and build a bridge that can, meet those needs. On the bottom left there, we had a professor work closely with other people on the Flint water crisis. So that was super cool to see. As well as the bottom right is a picture of our concrete canoe design team working on making that canoe from scratch. So a lot of great opportunities and different wide range of opportunities to get involved with this major.
Next up, we have construction engineering management, also known as CAM. So this program is also it's actually under our Myers-Lawson School of Construction, but since it is an engineering major, we include it in these sides since you do graduate with an engineering degree. So graduates of this program, they possess the knowledge, the technical knowledge, the managerial knowledge, business knowledge to design, plan, and execute and manage large-scale construction projects. So they're able to, they're prepared to manage like the technical aspects, the materials, the financial aspects, the human resources, and overall to support construction and lead and project from scratch. So they get to work in various industries and organizations. Great thing about CEM is that there's a lot of opportunities like on campus since construction always happens. There's a lot of study abroad opportunities as well. My roommate one summer, she went to Bolivia to help build a bridge from scratch for a local village. So a lot of great opportunities. And a fun fact that we love to mention is that students in CM, the graduates, they have to wear their hard hats during graduation. So you're able to spot them pretty easily as well. And students under Myers-Lawson, they also currently do enjoy 100% employment rate since construction management is very on demand as well. And I'll also quickly go over building construction since a lot of people tend to get confused. But building construction, we like to include it in these slides since there is a bit overlap of CEM, but they are not an engineering degree, which means that they do not participate in our first year to our engineering program. Instead, if you're interested in building construction, you're directly admitted into the program. So overall, it's not an engineering degree, but it's still part of Myers-Lawson School of Construction. And the difference between this and CEM is that it's more heavily team and project-based learning that touches all aspects of like managing a construction project, right? You go into things such as like safety, materials, what methods to use, stuff like that. So overall, in general, very more team-based oriented. It's not engineering focused as much, as why you don't graduate with the engineering degree. But again, many building construction students, they often tend to participate in many different teams and study abroad opportunities. They also tend to have a lot, 2 to 3 internships before graduation and stuff like that.
Yeah, and our next major is mining and minerals engineering. This is a super cool major. It talks about different concentrations such as the critical minerals for new technologies, mine safety, and minerals for construction, green engineering, carbon capture, energy production. This is one of the few majors that also still does field trips. So if you're like somebody who does field trips, highly recommend this major. But yeah, you get to do some cool, super cool things. You get to go to different mines, which is super awesome. And you get to see, the different ranges of technologies based on different minerals, and stuff like that. Because this major is also on the smaller side, you really get to know your class as well and get to know your professors. And students tend to learn a lot through this major and graduate with knowing the latest technologies and getting internship experiences within these majors as well. And there is more than a 90% job placement for students in this major right out of graduation, which is super, super awesome. And yeah, and so you can see some cool things, students flying drones within the mines, and students getting to visit these mine sites and these pictures. But yeah, so a great way to learn more about minerals and those minerals and mine safety for where things are, used as the foundation for what things are going to be built on top of it. Super important for everything that's, structured today. So super awesome to see and has a lot of hands-on experiences.
Next up, we have biological system engineering. So they focus on connecting biology and engineering to solve complex critical problems affecting areas such as like environmental protection, sustainability, and human health. Graduates of this program, they get to develop engineering solutions that safeguard our land and water resources, detect and prevent human diseases, produce food. They can also go into pharmaceuticals, stuff like that. So we're able to go into a variety of areas such as like biotechnology, watershed science, environmental health, and food engineering as well. Um, and yeah, and some pictures that we like to talk about is that picture on our top left is actually a picture of Virginia Tech's our the Hokies soil judging team. So they literally go around campus, testing the different soil around our ground to see if it's um, healthy or not. A picture on um, the bottom left is a picture of like some of the final checks on our unmanned aerial vehicle, which helps remotely collect land and service data, which is happening in one of our labs in BSC. But yeah, graduates of this program, they're able to do you're able to go into so many industries, either like biotechnology, energy, food industries, consulting, nonprofit organizations, and even medicine, dentistry, stuff like that.
Yeah, and our last major is biomedical engineering. This focuses a lot on technologies that are used in the medical field, so medical biomedical devices and imaging, biomechanics, biomaterials, cardiovascular energy, tissue engineering, and all those great things. Virginia Tech is really ranked high for all of these opportunities in the biomedical engineering field. There's a lot of research that is encompassed by this, and it just focuses on improving human health through different forms of technology, which is super cool. A very interdisciplinary um, work that you get to experience at Virginia Tech, applying different principles of biology, chemistry, physics, and different types of engineering as well. A lot of students also use this for potentially different tracks for medicine. Um, and yeah, you get to see a variety of different equipment and devices and materials and how they help mitigate different injuries and fatalities in different emergency situations. Um, but yeah, you can see on the top left is our VT rescue team, which is working with students in the biomedical engineering field, working on ways to safely transport students in and out of the dorm safely and efficiently. And yeah, and there's a lot of just biomedical research here as well. A lot of students will be doing research in these fields. And on the bottom right, we have our helmet lab, which is where all the helmets are developed for our football team, as well as other universities gaining our research on, the safety of helmets and everything like that, which is super cool.
Yeah, so that was an overview of our all of our engineering majors. So if you scan this QR code, you can see more about that as well. And we also do have all of this information online, which is really helpful. And
Also,
yeah.
I know some people were asking about this in the chat as well, but if you email back the person who emailed you for the Zoom link, it's like the VT engineering or whatever email that whoever sent you this Zoom link. If you email them back requesting for the meeting recording, they will send you the meeting recording as well. So I know some people were asking about that. So
But yeah, since we're a bit short on time, we always still love to end these presentations with why each of us came to decided to come to College of Engineering. So I can quickly go first, but I would say I definitely came because I really wanted to go to a school where there's a lot of students, which also means that there's a lot of resources, right? So when I was searching up like Virginia Tech as well, searching up like the career fairs, like the networking opportunities, I saw like a lot of employers, which I saw myself actually working with in the future. So which is why I decided like, hey, maybe if I go to Virginia Tech College of Engineering, right? Maybe I have a chance to actually be employed by these companies in the future. I also personally really liked going to like a bigger college since I would say we lean more on the bigger side just in general and also in terms of College of Engineering since it's like super great way to meet people with different diverse backgrounds, different interests, stuff like that. I also really loved it when I toured here since I would say our campus is really like beautiful, especially now in the summer, and I would say really great, supportive, and lively environment.
yeah, I'm super similar as well. I actually, however, did not tour Virginia Tech as I was applying during kind of the COVID times. So the first day I came to campus was the day I moved in, which was super awesome. But yeah, I also have a twin brother who also goes to Virginia Tech, who's also a computer science major. So that was really fun to be able to decide to go to school with him and get similar opportunities there. But yeah, Virginia Tech has great support in almost everything. You know, you have great academic support inside the class through your professors. Um, and like people that you talk to as well as outside the class through different office hours and other external student support, which I thought was super nice because for me myself I struggled a little bit in high school, so finding a school that had really good academic support was really important to me. It also looked really important to the students here about the organizations that they joined, and I was always doing sports growing up, so trying to find something that I can do here at Virginia Tech, such as intramurals or some way to get involved with something that was super eye-catching as well. Bonus, the campus is really pretty. I'm a sucker for nature and going outside. Anytime it's nice, you'll always see somebody like on the drill field, like lying on a blanket, reading a book, or just like talking and playing some spike ball on the drill field, things like that. That's my type of environment. I really like going out and seeing like what it's like. You'll always run into people you know, but you'll always run into people you don't know, and I love that. I love meeting new people. If you're ever in Blacksburg and you walk up to a student, maybe not in the summer, but if you walk up and you know see somebody and like, hey, I don't know where I'm going, like 9 times out of 10, unless they're going rush into a class, they will be able to help you and walk you to where you need to go. And I feel like that environment is super, super eye catching, not just as a student perspective, but talking to students and talking to students, but also talking to professors and all that and recruiters and everything. Everything just feels so nice and inclusive. And there's never been a point where I feel like I'm not wanted somewhere. So it's been super great to kind of find my place in my home away from home because I am an out of state student. So it's been really great to adapt to that as well. So yeah.
All right, now we are a bit over, so everyone is feel free to leave, but we'll take some time to answer some of our questions. I do see we have some questions in our Q&A section, so we'll answer that. Okay, so first up we have a question. Does the College of Engineering offer cybersecurity and network major? So we actually do offer that since our computer science major. We offer actually three majors. So first is computer science, then you have human computer interaction, and then we have secure computing, which is most likely a resemblance of like the combination of cybersecurity and network major. So that's something that you're interested in. We definitely do offer that as well. We also do offer a cybersecurity minor. And another thing we always like to mention is that Pamplin College of Business also has their own version of cybersecurity. So that's something that you should keep in mind. But if you're interested in cybersecurity from like the technical side, the programming side, then I would definitely recommend taking like the secure computing major under our computer science program. But overall, yes, we do offer that.
Yeah. And to answer the next question, is STEP for high school students? Yes. It is for seniors who will be eventually coming to Virginia Tech as first year students. So typically, this is taken the weeks leading up to your first year in college. So, yeah.
Yeah, and just to clarify, that means you actually do have to be accepted under a College of Engineering. So it is for, I would say, admitted students before the summer they join. And then we have another question. Would Windows 10 work? We do say that Windows 11 is required since during your freshman year, you actually have to download like engineering software bundles. So I'm not sure those bundles would run on Windows 10. So we definitely recommend Windows 11 for that.
And if you were, I guess if you're really, really curious, you can also potentially find, like, if you know who your engineering professor is, or maybe you can just find a, you know, college engineering professor that has taught within the last year, you can probably send them an email being like, "Hi, I'm you know, a first year student coming in. This is what my computer is. You know, will this work?" A lot of professors are super willing to help students, and I'm sure you should be able to hopefully maybe get a better answer that way as well. Yeah. To answer the next question, what is campus life like, and what do you guys feel makes it special and unique? We kind of answer that in our own separate ways. But I really think it's a place for you to find your spark. I think students are doing everything so different. You'll never really see a student who's just doing their academic pursuits. They will be doing research or design team, or they'll be in an organization, or like, for example, everyone on the dean's team probably does like 2 or 3 other things in addition to the dean's team. I myself am involved in a handful of things on the campus. If I'm not in the class, I'm running from meeting to meeting, or I'm hanging out with friends. And I really think that, like, that's what makes Virginia Tech special when you talk to somebody and you introduce yourself. Um, people are excited to know what you do outside the class. People wanna know what organizations you're a part of and what they can join as well, and I think that is kinda what makes your experience so great here at Virginia Tech. There's something for everyone to do, and I don't think anybody I've met has had a problem trying to find something to do. They have somebody they can always go with, there's always a buddy to hang out with, and I think that in itself makes it a really, really great experience. And also just by talking to other people, Virginia Tech has a really strong foundation for career fairs and professional development opportunities. We like Samantha mentioned earlier, we have so many companies coming to Virginia Tech. We have so many recruiters coming to organizations. There are recruiters on campus every single day. Maybe not in the College of Engineering, but every single day in some sort of department at Virginia Tech. Um, so really being able to meet and have this one-on-one conversation with recruiters, I find super, super beneficial. I'm able to talk to recruiters more calmly. So now that I'm working in industry or for my internship and things, I can be more confident in the conversations that I have. And I think to me, the bigger takeaways are not just, my education, but the people that I've met, the opportunities that I get, and also the professional development and confidence that I get when talking to first year or talking to like industry people as well. So that was a long answer, but I think Virginia Tech offers a abundance of support in so many different ways, that I think that's what makes it really unique.
All right. Where do Mackie majors go for graduate school if they go? Okay, yeah. So I would say it honestly depends. I would say a lot of people do go to graduate school, so they do offer an option for mechanical engineers, either like a Master of Science or a Master's of Engineering. Another thing which we sort of kind of talked about, but was that a lot of your majors will also have accelerator master's options, including mechanical engineering. What that means is that you get to like graduate in 5 years. We call it our 4+1 program, where you graduate with an undergraduate degree and your master's degree in 5 years at Virginia Tech. So if that's something that's definitely interested in, we offer that as well. And then for the second part, also I'm currently in Blacksburg. Is there any way I could look around the engineering campus? I think not exactly sure, but I think we do have our buildings open since summer school's happening. So I would say we look into Goodwin Hall, which is open as well. I'm not sure if we might also have tours available since we don't handle those, but you can search up like Virginia Tech tours. You might get more information from that. But overall, I do think the buildings should be open. So I believe you can feel free to just like come in, go in as well. Yeah.
Yeah. You should be able to walk into any building, especially tomorrow will be a weekday. On the weekends, not so much. So if you want to walk around and maybe go into some of the buildings that you want to pursue, or like for the specific majors you want to pursue, definitely recommend doing that tomorrow. If you're a design person, definitely go to the design team lab, the Ware lab. And there's also the Frith lab, which is another first year engineering lab. As well as your specific majors, I would definitely look up what building they are. And if they have labs that have students there currently, definitely recommend just knocking on the door and being like, hey, could you give me an overview, and yeah, that's definitely the way to just kind of go about doing that. How many students are in the college of engineering as well as participating in the Corps Cadets? A lot. I couldn't give you a number, unfortunately, but I would say like I always have a peer in my class who's in the Corps Cadets. There's people that I know that manage it. It's actually not super uncommon to see. If you wanted to be able to talk to someone who's in the Corps Cadets specifically, or maybe get more accurate numbers, definitely reach out to one of us, email one of us, and we can definitely get you connected with somebody who was in the Corps and Cadets or who's in the Corps and Cadets and the College of Engineering, and they can definitely answer a lot of your questions more specifically about that. But it's definitely not an uncommon scene by any means. There's a lot of students who will, in fact, be doing the Corps Cadets and the College of Engineering and be involved in other things on campus. So that's definitely not a uncommon scene.
Okay, how does Virginia Tech implement AI into the College of Engineering, specifically for industrial engineering? So I can't talk about ISC since I haven't taken that, but I would say I'm definitely with a bunch of AI tools. Our curriculum is definitely evolving. Honestly, it depends on like your professor and your classes, right? For example, a lot of the professors that I took, they've been adapting, right? You're allowed to do AI to help your assignments, which also means that your assignments are definitely evolving, right? They're not as simple as they were before. Some professors they would strictly like say in the syllabus like, hey, like AI use is like not allowed, right? But overall, I would say as a university generally really progressive about it. Definitely, I would say case by case basis, professor basis, but overall, I would say most of your classes, I believe you are allowed to use AI to help you with your assignments and coursework or like projects on the side, stuff like that.
Yeah. And the next question is, as a member of IEEE as a transfer student, like how can you get involved in that BT? And are there research or projects tied to electrical engineering majors? So to answer your first part, yes, absolutely. Our chapter is super big here. If you go to the Gobbler Connect link I sent earlier and look for IEEE, you should be able to join a Discord from there. I'm not sure, I didn't look it up exactly, but you should be able to join a Discord there and be able to be plugged in just right out the gate, and talk to people as well in there. The Discord is super big. There's a lot of opportunities and stuff like that. So that's really great. Definitely recommend to do that. As well as research and project opportunities for electrical engineering. Yes, that definitely exists. There's research in every single major, every single department here at Virginia Tech. If there's something specific you want to do right out of the gate, definitely recommend talking to your intro to ECE professor, maybe being like, hey, like this is a topic or subject that I'm really interested in. Here's some background that I have in it, maybe. And do you have any professors or people that you think I can reach out to or research with? And that's like the best way to do it. And that's how a lot of students will do it. So highly recommend doing that as well. But there are definitely opportunities that you can do with research and things like that.
Okay, what support systems and resources does VT offer specifically for transfer students and the College of Engineering, academically or socially, to help them adjust and succeed? Yeah, as a transfer student, you're going to be having your own advisor, right? Someone that will help you with like your transfer credits, stuff like that. So you definitely have a lot of academic support to help you figure out where you are in terms of like your 4 years, what courses that you need to take, stuff like that, as well as socially. You also get to attend like events, right, for to meet other transfer students such as you, since a lot of transfer students do come to us yearly. And socially, I would say you generally won't have like, I would say you honestly won't have a problem trying to like, I guess like fit in socially, right? You can join in. We mentioned this a bit previously, but Gobbler Connect happens every year, which is something that you have access to as a transfer student, where you can just come in, join a lot of clubs, different organizations of your interests. So I wouldn't worry about is it going to be harder for me to like make friends since I'm coming as a transfer student? Since honestly, I would say no one really is going to like care about that. So we do offer so many different clubs as well, our organizations. And then I would say academically, your advisor is going to be your best bet for figuring out like where you are academically and how to help with stuff such as graduation. Okay, I think that's all the questions that we have. I know we're a bit over, so I would say yeah, if anyone has any more questions, we'll stay for a bit as well to answer any last questions. But yeah, so thank you for coming to our session. Really hope this was really helpful. We also typed in our contact information as well. We put in a link for Gobbler Connect for you to see some of for all of our clubs and organizations. But yeah, and again, just to reiterate, if you're interested in like the slides and the like the recording, we have that. So email like the ENGR email that you've been receiving emails about for this session to get like the recording. So we're able to send you that as well after the session ends.
Awesome. Thanks everyone for coming. Have a great rest of your night.
Okay, I think everyone left. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sweet. Did you we can stop the recording.
Yeah, it says.